Alright, guys. It's Clem in the left side here of the map going up against ZOUN in the bottom right. ZOUN has been making some waves over the last month. He's been having some really good performances and showing that there's another Protoss at the top, and especially a Korean Protoss player. It's so fascinating because ZOUN is one of the younger Korean players. He didn't start trying to qualify for things till 2014. He didn't start getting good performances in individual tournaments until 5 years later, late 2019, early 2020. It just goes to show how much catching up there is to do in real-time strategy. When I was trying to become a pro player back in the early days, I remember it dawning on me very quickly as I kind of asked a lot of players for advice on how to get better, that almost all the top players had been playing competitive real-time strategy games, tournaments for over a decade at that point. And that they were able to kind of copy-paste a lot of that knowledge they knew from Warcraft and StarCraft and just tournament experiences, how to use mouse and keyboards and computer settings and everything else into their StarCraft experience. So when you come in a bit later, and ZOUN definitely coming in a bit later, like I said, only getting to that competitive level where he was a Masters or GM player 4 years into StarCraft 2, definitely put him behind. Of course, CLEM knows all about that though, and is a player who also, 2014 was 11 years ago now. CLEM is, I believe, 22. I think he turns 23 this year. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. Which means he was, a solid 2 years old. Back then when ZOUN was... sorry, not 12. When ZOUN was first trying to qualify for things. To be fair, the moment Clem turned 16 was able to compete, he was instantly placing in those top 32s and then pretty quickly top 16s of tournaments and that sort of thing. So Clem grew up with the game, and it's kind of cool to see the young generation from Korea, the young generation from Europe clashing here. Clem, of course, reigning world champ, the big favorite in the series. After, what has it been now? 5 years of us saying Clem's something special, 5-6 years, he's going to be a great one day. And I think so many people were just like, you've been saying this since late 2019, early 2020, when ZOUN was first starting to make a few decent performances. And Clem was as well, but Rotterdam especially, as a guy who really kind of tracks the EU scene, casts everything over there, was saying for such a long time, this guy's going to win big. He's going to be a champion, probably a world champion, and for like such a long time, because he wasn't quite getting those performances. The number of haters in the comment sections are just like, he's so bad, he's not even that good, you guys overhyped him, he's not even good. And of course, it's kind of funny to see, oh, speaking of not being good, that probe kills the Reaper, nice move. It obviously just takes longer to get good at StarCraft than people realize. I think a lot of people just don't understand. Whatever sport you're following, whatever activity, people don't become champions overnight. Like, you go check out, I'm wondering what sort of sport you can have someone get to the top in like a year or two. Because you'll hear prodigy stories of like, I don't know, maybe that young British darts champion. He's like 16, but he looks like 45. What's that guy's name? Does anyone know his name? The young kid who's kind of taken the dart scene by storm. People are like, oh yeah, he's come out of nowhere, you know, blah, blah. Even that kid, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Luke Littler. Yeah, I'm pretty sure even he was playing darts since he was like 6 years old at the pub with his dad, you know? Like, you know, there was probably a decade of him playing darts every day before he got to that point, you know? It doesn't just happen overnight. He's 18 with 16 year of EFFs. I don't know what that means. That 16-year-old Spanish guy playing for Barca right now? Yeah. No, it takes a long time to get that level. 16 years of experience. That's what we were trying to say. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, he's like 18 years old now. I guess he was 16 when I found out about him a while ago, a couple years ago. But yeah. He's been playing for a long time. This doesn't develop overnight, and for me, that's what always gives me eternal respect, especially for the players who never make it past being a good pro, you know, an okay pro, a high-level player, because you can put in so much time to get to the top 50 or 100 or 200 in the world or something, and most people would never know who you are or all the work you've put into it, and you won't really make much money. And it'll essentially be you invested in a big life experience, and you learned how to learn, and you had great experiences, and you might have traveled to compete. You don't got any money to show for it. Clem has, of course, crossed that boundary to have that money to show for it. ZOUN has won a decent bit of money, but he lacks that $400,000 world championship win or anything like that to really put some respect on his name. Now, Raven, Reaper, Hellion all going down. ZOUN's shut everything down And because of this, Clem says, you know what? I'm going to cut Marine Marauder production a little bit and go for a quick third command center because I don't think I can push right now. Observer spots it immediately. He spots the Observer, but the Observer pulls back. Beautiful play here by ZOUN. Now, ZOUN's going for those 2 gates into 6 gates. Robo Bay, he's only on 3 gas. I do expect a 4th gas to come up soon. ZOUN's work account is not that high. Yeah, it's 10 years to become an overnight star, usually. That's exactly it. People are like, look at this guy, he came out of nowhere. And you're like, man, you didn't see the 10 years it took me to get to coming out of nowhere. What the hell, dude? Got to respect these players for the passion and love they put into the game. Now, let's talk more about the build orders. He's going to try and move out with the drop. Observer sees the whole thing. Oh, geez. Where are those stalkers? We're not going to intercept? Not going to intercept? Just warping in zealots at home. He's not moving his stalkers to intercept. This is bizarre. I guess he's just going to just... Surely he could have ran down, blinked across the gold and intercepted here. Or potentially here. But this is the area where there's not enough dead space. That's where you want to catch that drop. But I guess he wanted to keep the stalkers out front. So he figured it'd be a paired push. And he's going to hide his units in the main. He's looking for the ambush. He wants to blink on top, kill those medevacs. He's got enough stalkers to 2-shot a medevac. ZOUN's ready. ZOUN's ready. Clem scans. Good scan. And he gets out. Great scan. If Clem did not scan there, that could have been devastating. He knew there's always a chance Protoss saw you coming. And that's why he plays it safe. Splits a single Marine scout off. Pulls back here. These guys unload on the low ground. Very nicely done. ZOUN Stalker gets taken out. Gold base on the front. Wow, you don't see this very often. Interesting. Extended thermal lances on the way. Where's the forge? There's no forge. Just now going down. 7-minute forge. Double forge. Okay. Yeah, this is how I tend to play in this matchup. I'll tell you guys. Feels really good until your opponent has 1-1. You have no upgrades and your Colossus don't even tickle the Marauders. He's going to have to chrono those upgrades big, and there could be an opportunity for Clem to find some very nice timings. Especially if he can kind of clear up the vision, drop the main, and maybe attack this northern base with another ground army at the same time. But the Observer Vision's been great for ZOUN. He sees everything that's happening. Oh, Widowmine's Burrow. Widowmine's Burrow. Come on, mate. Marine Marauder, Mine, Tank. Hanging out. 4th Nexus on the way. 1-1 upgrade starting. Double chrono goes down. Picks up to move, but the Observer sees it. ZOUN should be aware of that. Wait, maybe the Observer didn't quite catch it. Ah, nice position. He can at least deny the gold minerals from here. Maybe attack the Nexus with just the Marauders if he wants to. Observer still sieged up on that side. Do we have a Warp Prism? Still no Warp Prism. And also that Robo idling. ZOUN gonna have to make a decision pretty soon about where he wants to go from here. He's gonna take another base up the top. Marine sees it. Robo's still not doing anything. He builds a second Robo. One's got a Wonder Man. Come on. ZOUN, only 2 Colossus, no Warp Prism. Widowmine's cleaning up 2 of those Zealots, but the Widowmines will go down. Colossus ready to defend this base, so it can't get shaved down. Marauder's not going to do too well there. Zealots pulling back up north for some bio. Where's Clem's 4th command center, guys? It does not exist. He's going for a Ghost Academy, an Armory, a second eBay. But no 4th command center just yet for the young Frenchman. 4th Nexus in the top right. Disruptor's coming. Second Robo. Both players just waiting for the other to make a mistake. Gets a sentry, does Clem. Big Zealot attack up north. Not a lot of units to defend. A few Marauders. Widowmine's not burrowed. Clem so focused on the front. He needs to defend that north side. 4th command center would be a great snipe. If ZOUN can cancel that 4th, it's going to really set Clem back. Now, to be fair, ZOUN has not been mining off a 4th base this whole time, but he has one up top. Zealot comes in. Widowmine should see it. Clem, though, busy down the bottom. He's scanning. He's looking for observers. He's making sure the minerals aren't down. And that Zealot will let Clem know to burrow the Widowmines and maybe to prepare a little bit for a potential attack on that angle. SCV barely survives on the command center. He's going to load up a double drop and pull back. There is still a Widowmine watching there. A Widowmine in the main, and now a Phoenix on the side. What's he doing here? Why is he pulling so many units back? Clem with some really curious repositioning. Feels like he expects a big army to hit him right now. He knows this is not the whole army. Double disruptor production, +2 attack on the way. No gas for +2 armor. ZOUN will need more gases. He's going to get this 3rd base gas going in a sec. Siege tank very slowly sieging the Nexus down. Widowmines will get a few shots on the Zealots. There's a bunker, but he's not quick enough to repair. Bio armies nearby, though. And the Marauders and the Marines come up. A whole lot of Zealots go down. Great trade for the Terran. Units lost tab 700 in his favor. Stalker comes forward, does blink back. Nexus getting very low. Nice force fields. Going to take out a few Marines and Marauders there. Great play by ZOUN to get a bit of value out of that Nexus before it does go down. 2-2 has now started for ZOUN. 2-2 is also on the way for CLEM. Should finish about the same time if ZOUN chronos a few times. ZOUN's going to go to 10 gateways. Problem, as always, is the fact that CLEM, he's got Ghosts, he's got a good Viking count, and now you're going to have to rely more on those Disruptors than Colossus. You've got a very heavy Zealot army, and finding a way for that to trade, it's usually very difficult. Zealot will take out the Marine on the tower. Colossus in the middle. Disruptor shot goes forward. Widowmine's burrowed across. Vikings covering the skies. The Bio goes forward, gets rid of one Disruptor, pulls back from the other. Great play for CLEM. He's marching forward. The army for Protoss feels a little weak. The army supply especially not that good. EMPs all over. One Colossus very deep in the red. The other one about to go down. One Colossus falls. Second one goes down as well as the Vikings do get that last shot off. Zealots up north coming in for the counter. There's still a full bunker there, but those Zealots could take it out if there's no quick repair. Let's see how quickly CLEM responds. Instantly gets in front on hold position, but they're going to divert to the natural. Nice micro for ZOUN. ZOUN's also got a Nexus trying to go up in the top middle. These Zealots constantly getting blocked by bunkers, but he keeps rotating around. Nice micro for ZOUN, but also great response for CLEM to handle it. Stalker's blinking forward, trying to chase this army down. The Marine Marauder Ghost pulls back. That tank not dying. What the hell? The tank just being ignored there. ZOUN, oh gosh, that tank just doing so much damage. And also distracting ZOUN for a long while. ZOUN's finding himself kind of pinned. He's going for Blink DT. His 2-2's almost done, but 2-2's finishing for CLEM at the exact same moment. 2 Colossus are going to be rebuilt, but with 9 Vikings still out, those 2 Colossus aren't going to be particularly useful. No Storm, a handful of Disruptors, and it's just so difficult to really get any momentum. No Prism on the map. No forward kind of gateway in the top left to warp in Zealots there. Disruptors go out, land on a few Marines and Marauders. Can he throw another shot here to cover his retreat? Beautiful, though. The way CLEM comes in and chases, so he barely dodges the Disruptor, and then he's already chasing you. But he's damaged. He's got to be careful with that medevac energy. 9 medevacs, no Caduceus, as is the standard for CLEM. He likes to go mass command center, +2 ship weapons, a few libs, and only then does he think about adding the lib range and the medevac energy much later on. Something he could definitely, I think, improve his late game by getting those upgrades a little earlier, but he is gas-starved right now. Widowmine takes out the Dark Templar as it tries to sneak by. 3 DTs running in there. Bunker and turret should be ready, though. DTs can't find anything, man. Yeah, this is just not going... No openings. Clem's defense is too good. You need a Prism in the main or something to cause some chaos, and then you need your army to find that top left base! Giant Disruptor lands on the army. Just when I'm saying ZOUN can't find anything, Clem, so distracted by the Zealot run by, is not watching his front army for a moment and does take a big Disruptor shot, but as he gathers everything together and gets those Vikings back in the sky, I do think he's still got the better army. Dark Shrine, Disruptor shots landing all over there. But when I say landing all over, I mean landing all over on the ground, because they're not landing on the army. Sorry, I had to clear my throat there. A bit of cough in the middle of the fight. Disruptor's trying to load up their shots, but the Zealots! Oh, he barely pulls his Zealots away. Does get rid of the Libs at least. ZOUN loses another Disruptor. I can't believe Clem managed to focus that down. He's ahead 5,000 resources and the units lost. 5,000. That is massive. 6,000 even. Over 6,000, actually. Clem out trading. The longer this goes, the better it is. Protoss rebuilds faster. 12 gateways warping in, you know, pumping units with chrono outer disruptors. They get to the front line way faster than Terran. So the only thing with Terran is you just have to be careful to take your time. Let the ghosts regenerate energy. Let the medevacs heal your units. Don't overstim yourself. Make sure you replace your libs, your Vikings. For Protoss, it's all about opening up kind of windows to break through. If you can break the front line of the Terran, if you can get in and cause an imbalance in their unit comp and remax a bit quicker than them, that's where, of course, the big successes lie. But another Disruptor goes down. There's only one left, which means this army kind of sucks. It's mostly Zealot Stalker. A lot of Clem's supply, though, is still being produced. Disruptor on the front lines could get clicked on. Indeed, it does for a moment, but doesn't quite go down. Vikings finally going to deal with the Colossus. The Bio are very clumped here, but the Colossus just disappear to that Viking count. And the units lost tab still 7,000 in the units lost tab in favor of Clem. And these Zealots attacking front on into Clem's Bio feels absolutely bad. It just does not feel good as a Protoss player. If you've got chaos going on elsewhere, you've got big Dark Templar run-bys, these sort of fights can be acceptable because it distracts the Terran, keeps him occupied. But look, if you send DTs or Zealots, the landed Vikings are up there. Every time he kills the Colossus, this is the Clem special, he will send his Vikings back, land them, and use them to defend run-bys. And the moment new Colossus show up on the front, he'll bring them back to the front. So many players throw those valuable Vikings away, and it's where they lose this matchup when they get caught off guard by a Remax. Disruptor shots are landing, though. Good spread on the second one, does avoid it. Command center goes down. That was a good command center snipe. 1 orbital falls, which means there's only 4 left. Very useful for ZOUN, who's actually already mined out a lot of this middle base. If you can get these bottom bases, that'd be great. Marine Marauder counterattack, though, is on the bottom. 3-3. Almost finished for Protoss. +3 attack is done for Terran. +3 armor, only about halfway finished. As building armor comes in and Fusion Core finally as well. Planetary is going to get repaired. The bio is there. Crazy attack for ZOUN. Not going to be able to clear that. And that was a ill-timed attack. A bad choice for ZOUN. Has to whoop in Zealots to clean up the main base. Loses a few pylons and gateways. The gateways are actually more valuable. The pylons, it doesn't matter. He's got plenty of extra supply, but losing gateways is actually expensive. He's only on 11 gateways this late in the game. You'd much rather be on 16, 18, maybe even 20 gateways. Stalker, Zealot, Disruptor rotating. Oh, he gets 2 medevacs. Clem! Oh, uncharacteristic laziness. Looks like he maybe F2'd that to the middle. Should have sent that down the south path. Losing 2 full medevacs. Did Clem just leave an opening there? Still ahead 7,000 resources and the units lost. The Colossus being built right now. 6 disruptors. 81 probes for ZOUN. He's got a good economy. He does like to have a bigger economy than the heroes of this world, who rarely go past 75 probes. Stalkers get themselves a medevac and a Viking. Great catch for him. Disruptors exposed in the south. Throws a disruptor out. Does land on a single Marine and Marauder. The Zealot Stalker cleaning up these Vikings. Bit of a spread out messy fight for Clem here. The Vikings are doing nothing against this non-Colossus army, but the Lib does survive. One Lib starts to lay out a bit of damage. He's going to pick up and try and drop in the midst of this, which is a very dangerous choice because you're winning right now. You just need to hold this position as Clem, but he tries to sneak a drop out. Oh, that's why a single Stalker was harassing him from behind the gold base. Great move for ZOUN. If ZOUN can deny this gold, Clem might start running low on resources. He's still got 2 full mining bases up the top though. Disruptor lands ahead on a Marauder, but of course it does not kill it, because this is the modern Disruptor. The Cuckruptor, many people have called this. The Flaccid Ball. The ball that does not hit like it used to. Much worse against Zerg. It does have extra radius, which is of course good. It does land a lot more hits than it used to, and I'd say overall it's a buff compared to the last version of the Disruptor, but nowhere near as good as its OG form. 2 Disruptors do go down. Bio is stutter stepping in and out. ZOUN, it feels like at this point he should have found room to get up some more gases and add some Scythe Storm or something, right guys? Or if he could have fought a bit better in this game, wasn't down 8,000 resources, maybe he could do a big Blink DT counterattack, jump on this top base, take it out. But he's been stuck in a frontal duel, and Clem has not made enough mistakes. He's down 30 army supply. Disruptor shots are going to need to land. Clem not showing enough mistakes to let that happen. That being said, ZOUN controlling the Watchtower very well. The fact that this base is still alive up here is kind of crazy. Whoa! Dives the Planetary on the gold. Disruptors do cover him a little bit, but he's got to get out. He's got to get out. Massive flank from the north. This will not be worth it, I don't think. Is he going to escape? One more Disruptor comes in. It's got a shot loaded, ready to go. Loaded and ready to go. The Stalkers are going to need to blink away. They do try to blink away. A few Zealots coming in, but all of these Disruptors getting gunned down. Clem loses a Planetary, but to get that snipe, ZOUN had to go so ridiculously deep. And of course, Clem punishes him with a swift and brutal counterattack. Does not let him run home. ZOUN wanted to dart and get the Planetary, get out, but Clem trips him over, tackles him to the ground, and says, there is no way you're doing a home invasion on me, mate. ZOUN's like, dude, it wasn't a home invasion. I just wanted to burgle your Planetary and get in, get out. Clem's like, mate, the moment you walk into my house with a machete, you got to realize I am from friggin' Paris. And there's not only a Paris in France, there's Paris in Texas. And I think they have like stand your ground laws and stuff like that. Point being, Clem decided to shoot the guy. Just what I'm saying. I'm trying to say Clem had no mercy. Clem, he only shot him in the leg so that he could then tie him up and torture him afterwards as well. Because when you take Clem's Planetary, he gets mad. Really good game. I think ZOUN showed he's got very good, like, straight up macro. He can dance back and forth toe to toe, but he never really won any big fights. He didn't find any big openings, didn't get any prism activity in. Felt like it was a bit too easy for Clem to kind of stay in control of everything. And obviously the unit trading towards the end of this game was just out of this world. So I think if you get stuck on the Zealot Stalker Disruptor style, you need a little bit more momentum, and you need to find a moment to dive on this Planetary up the top and that sort of thing. But these sensor towers were never really getting cleared. Even though they're much reduced vision now, they were giving great vision, and Clem was just keeping track of his army and defending these 2 middle bases so well. Really well played in game 1 for Clem. All right, guys. ZOUN, you can see the way he's just solid in a macro game. If you make too many mistakes, like, ZOUN will just find an opening and kill you. Clem didn't make enough mistakes in that last game, and that's why, of course, there's a bit of pressure now on ZOUN to step up a notch and put some more pressure on. Clem's going to go Barracks Gas, and looks like a double gas opening. You can always tell, guys, because the next SCV, that 17th one, rallies to build that second gas. You can see it times out nicely, 75 minerals. That's a good build order. Now, we're going to see, of course, the jumping point here on Frostline, walled off with the Gate Cybercore, and ZOUN's also scouting for proxies, so being very safe. What tech should ZOUN have transitioned to in the last game? I like Storm. Hey, Datosis, thanks for the 4-month resub, guys. That, for those who don't know, there was a love affair many years ago, decades now, actually, I guess, Datosis. So basically, Artosis in day 9, after a StarCraft 1 WCG qualifier back in 2004, got very drunk. Things happened, and Datosis is, of course, the spawn of that. The much maligned love child of Artosis and Day 9. What's great about Datosis there in the chat is, as you can imagine, 50% unbridled rage and absolutely insane takes, and 50%, hey guys, I'm going to teach you how to play StarCraft and how to think about games. You know, it's basically the two polar opposite personalities in StarCraft, Day 9 and Artosis. So combining them is truly an unpredictable beast. Anyways, what was I answering? What tech should ZOUN have gone for? Well, he's not thinking about that. He's going to go proxy Stargate Oracle by the looks of it. But I would have liked Storm. You guys know I'm a big Storm stan. He got to Blink DT, but he never had enough money on the gas or minerals front or the gateway count or enough, momentum to actually warp in the 10, 12 DTs he would have needed to kill a planetary. The idea is you distract to one side with your army, the DTs hit the far top left planetary, take that out, that can work really nicely. Storm's more of a zoning space control tool where if Clem chases into you a little bit, those flanking High Templar cause big value. Like, High Templar don't make plays, they limit what your opponent can do if they play perfectly, and if they make mistakes, then they do a sudden massive play. They stop the Terran from hunting you down. Now, great Reaper move here, guys. Intercepting the first Zealot is great. But the Zealot does use the grass to try and intercept. Oh, he's gonna grenade the Zealot. Nice move. He's got to try to get out of there, though, before that Adept does catch him. Command Center on the low ground. He's gone Reactor. He's got only a Hellion and a Reaper to fight. Going to try and let that Reaper regen as much as it can. And does he bring SCVs down? Or does he just try and fight? Looks like he's just going to try and fight as is. Going to try and kite where possible. The Reaper and the Hellion have 5 range. The Adept only has 4. He can finish off that Reaper. But look at the way Clem's Reaper micro is so sick. The way he kept baiting the Adept. So it had to keep attacking the Hellion, but it's got a long cooldown on its attack. So every time it attacked the Hellion, the Reaper would come back in and shoot it. Beautiful play there. But first Oracle's on the way. 2 Marines only just starting. This Oracle could do big damage. That Adept does take out a Hellion, but it's not worth it just killing a Hellion. He should have killed a Reaper even. Only 1 Reaper? Dude, he's got nothing at home. ZOUN's dead. ZOUN's dead. The Oracle's going to kill like 8 SCVs, which is good, but it's not enough. And he's going to lose everything to 2 Reapers and a Hellion, or 2 Reapers and 2 Hellions at home, because 1 Adept just can't stop that. Battery won't be ready. Oracle here does run out of energy in a few seconds, guys, and this is where the real damage happens. Oh, God. You know what I actually would have done? I would have tried to preemptively pull my probes to the ramp, hope Clem isn't looking, and that I could drill through and surround him. You know what? That battery actually finished. Only 5 probes? Okay, I thought he'd have another 5-6 seconds in here where he could have just shift-clicked the probes. But you know what? Not as bad as I thought. Second Oracle's coming in, but the Cyclone's going to pop. Do not go in. Don't go in there, ZOUN. No. The second Oracle never works. You can never... Don't do it. Oh, God. Don't. Clem, is he going to scan? Is he going to scan? He does not scan for the kill. Don't think he had the money or the energy for it, but it is what it is. Reaper Hellion's going to fall back. You know what, guys? 25 workers versus 25. Still pretty good for the Terran. 5 workers each is good, unless these Oracles can find some damage. Cleaning up the Reaper Hellion would be a good start to that. Been a good split on those. Reaper Hellion's going to try to run away. Oracle is going to split. Turns on both Oracle lasers, gets both Reapers, but the Hellion will escape. And you can see it's very energy intensive and expensive to get up there. He's got 3 Oracles. Oh, no. No, you can't do this. Not on 1 gate. You need to go 3-gate Stalker here before Twilight. So my opinion, and I could be totally wrong. I hope ZOUN proves me wrong, because I want him to win this game and us to have a close series. Charge. Oh, he's going to do an all-in. Okay, so basically, and he cancels it, makes blink. Okay, never mind. I actually think if you spam stasis traps and use that energy recharge, you can intercept these pushes with Stalkers, but you need 2-gate Stalker, because right now all you've got is 2 Stalkers and an Adept, which is such a weak force, or 2 Stalkers and 2 Adepts. If you can get 2 more Stalkers, 3 more Stalkers out, you've got a good little squad that can volley down Marines, Hellions in 1 shot, and 2-shot the Cyclones. And when you can do that, it's actually really, really nice. But right now, Adept's getting caught out front. You've only got 2 Stalkers behind. If you lose these, that is a disaster, mate. Oh, no. At least he kills a Hellion, but this is so bad. Because Oracles can't fight this. They're just going to get killed by the Cyclone Marine Viking. I mean, this should be game over in Clem's favor. I don't see how 3 Stalkers are going to defend this. He's got 3 Stalkers, 3 Oracles. Oracles, oh, they take a lot of damage. He turns on the lasers. The Oracles crumble. You can see how fragile they are. They disappear. The Stalkers get taken down. ZOUN has to tap out. Oh, no. And this is why I said third Oracle's a bit crazy. But if he spams Stasis Traps, I maybe could get behind it. In general, the way you follow up an Oracle opening is you try to spam Stasis Traps in front, and you get as far forward as possible with all of your gateway units, and you sit on top of those Stasis Traps, and you try to focus down any individual units that try to set them off. When the Cyclones jump on top of you, you start a step back. Clem is the best player in the world at counter-microing against that, so it's probably not going to work, but it at least would allow you to buy a bit more time. And it's way more important to get out Stalker numbers. Now, a lot of people would say, well, what about Blink? Don't you need Blink? Not if you've gone triple Oracle, because the Stasis Traps kind of give you the safety net where you can start a step back and they can't just chase you down. You can always fall back through the Stasis Traps and use those to protect your Stalkers. Obviously, you'll add Blink later, but I think the third Oracle itself was probably just a bit of a mistake. And unfortunately, the Zealot and then the Adept getting shot down so fast and then the second Adept really screwed him up. If ZOUN didn't lose the first Zealot, the first Adept so early, has 2 Adepts or 3 Adepts to help defend, doesn't lose those 5 probes, this is a totally different game. GG, well played though. Clem up 2-0. All right, this man is dominating right now. Clem in the top left side of the map, a dominating victory. And ZOUN, I like the range, doing something a bit cheesy in that last game, but man, recently it feels like same thing with Hero. Whenever there's a proxy Oracle against Clem, he finds a way to get on top of it. It's hard to get ahead against Clem with those Oracle openings. I'd love to see it happen. I do feel we might see like a meta change at some point in this matchup a few months down the line, maybe 4 or 5 months, where people are just suddenly like, oh, we figured out how to play Stargate again. It is really good. We need to go back to it, right? You know, whether it be Oracle openings or Phoenix or anything like that. We were just talking about the shelter cat that we have. Cats need time to build trust. They don't like change. They like to be boxed, but they don't like being moved, trapped, or boxed. Don't try reaching them when they box or hide. Always wait for them to come to you. I don't really try to grab them. I do occasionally just try to put my hand, kind of my fist, slowly in front of her so she can get used to my smell. I'll kind of lie down, but usually all I do is lie down in the same room as her. Not really staring at her, not coming too close to her. Just kind of lie down in the same room, in her eye line, and just kind of chill. I think maybe people who are more experienced with cats have better advice, but for the most part, we're just getting her used to our presence and making sure she isn't able to just hide in a cupboard or anything like that. Because if she has too much safety in a cupboard and we don't slowly push the boundaries, I feel like she might just end up being stuck as a wallflower cat that's too nervous. And problem there as well is it's going to be hard to find someone to adopt her. She's a shelter cat. We're just taking care of at the moment, and we want someone to be able to take care of her long term. I travel too much to be able to have a cat permanently, but we can take care of them a little bit. So yeah. Pig, what's up with ESL SC2? Is there any insight if there's any future for it? Oh, you're talking about the pro circuit? EWC has basically been confirmed. Rotterdam jokingly leaked some stuff on his stream, but it sounded like there was actually something to it. We had an Arabic analyst who we got to meet over at Gamers 8 a couple years ago, who was dropping a lot of hints in our chat. It sounded like they knew something but couldn't actually share it. They were just kind of going, hey, maybe there's something exciting happening. So I don't know exactly what the circuit is, what's happening, but it does sound like StarCraft will be EWC, and if the Twitter's anything to go by, Age of Empires 2 will be as well, which is awesome. The number of people who are telling me RTS is dead, they're not going to have RTS at the Esports World Championships, and I was like, it's not an Esports World Championship then, is it? I was saying for a while, like, don't get me wrong, if StarCraft wasn't there, but they did Age of Empires and some other game or something, no worries, that's fine. Like, I don't mind, but to do it without RTS at all would be utter insanity. Obviously, I'd love StarCraft to be there, but it does sound like StarCraft and AoE 2 would be there if I had anything to guess by the sort of cryptic tweets they've been putting out. Who knows when we'll get a set announcement, but I imagine there's going to be a World Championship, and the question remains, how many big events leading into it? What are the qualifiers like? Do we have a few big DreamHack events? Will we be back at Dallas this year? No one knows right now. Why would Team Falcon sign Solar last November? Exactly. That's another point. Yeah. Team Falcon is, for those who know, Team Falcons is like the biggest team in like Saudi Arabia and stuff, and they're obviously like one of the biggest teams kind of running. That's I believe heavily involved in actually running the events as well. I'm not sure, or maybe some of the owners are the same. I don't know the exact details of that, but I just know like they won the massive team championship of like $20 million or whatever it was last year, some insane amount of money and stuff. So they're a big team. They clearly have the connections to know what's going on. So I would say, as I've said from the start, who knows what's going on? Negotiations behind the scenes can take a while. And a lot of the community says, well, hey, it sucks to hold the pros hostage and they don't know what's going on. The community doesn't know what's going on. But you've also got to understand if you're dealing with Blizzard or if you're dealing with multiple companies and organizations all negotiating, they can't confirm anything because the moment they do, they lose, they're like, they might not be able to maintain that promise. Anyway, guys, this is a big Cyclone Marine medevac pressure. Viking Cyclone coming in behind it. The eBay block here forced ZOUN to take the third. Is this just going to be a brutal 3-0? He's only got 1 Sentry and 2 Stalkers. I mean, okay, 2 Stalker Warping will help. The battery's helping. He should have he doesn't have an energy recharge available. Guardian Shield, though, does help a bit. A few hits on the medevac is nice. I think what's really good is if you can run up here with Stalkers and maybe get a lucky hit or two from the high ground and pull back, that could be nice. Is he gonna? He might look for it. It's a bit cheeky. Phoenix comes in, sees extra Cyclones rallying. At this point, it's committed, but it's 3-gate. 3-gate for ZOUN should be enough to defend this. ZOUN should try to squeeze in a third gas, another pylon, and a third Nexus while defending if he wants to get really far ahead, but already he's in a pretty good spot. That Stalker needs to pull back to the high ground. It does, breaks the lock on. Beautiful play for ZOUN so far, but unfortunately his damage is so spread out. He's not really killing much, which means the damage output of Clem is still very high, and he's saving those damaged Cyclones. Then again, ZOUN's pullback micro was very good. His aggressive micro wasn't that good until that moment where he split-fired to focus both Cyclones down. And look at that, guys. Only 4 units lost for him. He's going to blink to chase this down. Gets the medevac as it tries to pick up and save, and ZOUN finally getting a massive start after having a crushing loss in game 2. Rather close macro game in game 1, though Clem always had the upper hand. This time, look at that units lost up. Very effective opening. And of course, where's the stim? Hasn't even started. Second and third barracks only now getting onto their add-ons. Stalkers are going to blink forward. Bit of a YOLO for ZOUN, but there's so few Marines it might be worth it. ZOUN. No. We don't need to go to ZOUN Town. He got like 2 Marines and a tank for 4 Stalkers there. That's a bit costly. I don't like that maneuver. And it's not the end of the world because he has got a third coming up during this pressure, like we mentioned before. Interestingly, though, no third gas, guys. What's that about? Is he going to go quick charge? He might open armor. If he's going to go single forge, he might play armor zealot here and go for like an 8-gate zealot stalker swarm with +1 armor and just try to kill Clem. Which, it could work, but this choke point here is pretty hard to attack into, so he might have to wait for Clem to move out. Still no third gas. Yeah, look at this, guys. 55 probes. He's cut probes. Prism's on the way. 5 more gateways, so he's going to go 8-gate zealot here. ZOUN is committing to a time. This is what I like about ZOUN, guys. His build orders, he will commit hard to timing attacks. When other people are like, oh, you can't do timing attacks anymore, they don't work. ZOUN will still commit to a lot of beautiful, crisp timing attacks. PVZ, PVT, all the matchups. ZOUN is a guy who comes in with very organized builds and executes them really well. Fourth and fifth barracks is there. Third command center coming up also. Yeah, it's really sad that we missed Katowice this year. I mean, I've been to Poland every year for 10 years now, basically, guys. Or except for we were there literally when COVID started. We were there when Russia invaded as well. So it's been kind of crazy. We missed just that 1 year because of lockdowns. We did the online year where Rainer won. But EWC still happening is good news for StarCraft. Once it's confirmed anyway. I guess it's not 100%, but it seemed like Rotterdam knew something from that little joking clip about the Year of the Rabbit that he made. Zealot's coming in to do damage, picking up and pulling away. I've had too many people making coy comments like they know something with insider info. And as always, people go, well, surely you know insider info as well. I never know insider info. I don't know. I think I just need to spend more time actually asking people questions. Because a lot of people are out there always trying to finagle information out of people in the know, and I just never am. Oh, the medevac with the 2 mines. Almost goes down. Barely survives. Look at that, guys. 10 gate zealot. He loves his 10 gate. I've told you guys how he loves his 10 gate. He's actually gone +1 attack instead of armor, which I do think armor is way better for this timing attack. Like, so much better for this attack, personally. Because I think your ability to tank damage is huge. And I don't think it changes your kill time on SCVs. So it will help you kill Marines and Marauders a little faster with those Zealots. Big attack coming. It's all from one side. Nothing from the right. which I find a little surprising. It's an overwhelming number of units. Is ZOUN going a bit too all in here? Oh, the Zealots already wasted all their charge. He needs to wait for it to cool down. He wasted his charge. This is a bad start to this push for ZOUN. Oh no, he's got to kill him here. Great force field though. Great force field. Stalker's taking down the Medivacs, which means no escape. The Zealot's getting good surface area. Those whole position SCVs aren't doing anything. He couldn't pick up to get out with the bio. Is there enough for ZOUN? I think Clem might just barely be holding. As long as the SCVs keep tanking and he keeps up a little ball of bio, I think Clem can hold on. Another big Zealot warp incoming in. Clem needs to pull back behind the mineral line or over to the natural, one or the other. He can't be out here fighting. He's got to be real careful with stimming. Widow Mines are burrowing. Those SCVs are all almost dead. ZOUN wants at least those SCV kills. He's building a fourth base. Remember, ZOUN cut workers way early in this game. He's trying to take care of everything, but he just can't quite overwhelm. I think ZOUN attacking from one side was a little bit too one-dimensional. I wish he had a Prism in the main or hitting at the same time, or Zealots running in the natural, just something to make it a bit harder for Clem to deal with. But attacking on one side, it feels like, wait, the bio though is bleeding out right now. He needs to pull more boys. Clem's up so many workers, but he's not pulling boys. He's trying to just let his bio do it on their own, and that means his third base is wide open right now. So many SCVs are going to go down there. I think he should have pulled some healthier SCVs from his natural. He's still up in workers. This is still nail-bitingly close, but Clem needs to realize just how all-in ZOUN is. Remember, he lost his Medivacs earlier. He's only got 2 Medivacs. If these Medivacs go down, he's kind of screwed. Zealots are cheap. They're tanky. They're expendable. It's 1-1 upgrades, and with the force field on the ramp, ZOUN down on supply breaks Clem. And you know what? His lack of healing. I actually think that might have been the right call. I would have stayed in a little longer. I would have liked to see him stay in it a little longer. But, I mean, the force field on the ramp, he was going to lose a lot of mining. He was probably pretty dead. ZOUN there with a great start. I'm not too sold on how he executed the first wave of the attack, but he just kept committing in there. Had a fourth base up behind it and a third gas, and had no real tech behind it, but in of itself, he had some semblance of a follow-up and breaks Clem. All right, guys. We've got Clem down here in the bottom left side of the map. Dropping him out there. It looked like he was going to make an amazing hold happen, but those Medivacs getting focused down and those 2 force fields. The first one that trapped his bio in position at the third so it couldn't stutter, and then the other one on the ramp at the end, both fantastic for ZOUN. Couldn't the Medivacs have picked up and dropped units? Well, he could have tried to save some SCVs from the natural, or he could have dropped over the force field on the natural, but he was already incredibly low. Dropping bio into the Zealots is not going to go well for you. You kind of need to, that fragile section of bio, keep them together and, you know, give them time. And you always need a bit more time to let the Medivacs heal, let the stim packs get healed up as the Terran. And ZOUN just was relentless. And this is what we talk about, where Terran army is so much better, but it needs spacing to breathe, to heal, to regen energy between the battles. If you rush in there really hard and fast, sometimes you just kill them. So, looks like ZOUN's going to go once again for a double gas build. Are we going proxy Stargate again? Or maybe just... You wouldn't go for... What? Is he going to... I don't know why, guys. I'm thinking he's going to build a Dark Shrine in the corner. Because he's already done Proxy Oracle this series. I mean, he could just build a quick Stargate. This is a quick double gas. It could be a defensive Phoenix build super meta play. Normally with the double gas before expand. Yeah, it could be something like that. Oh man, I'm so curious what this build order is. It's going to be a Reaper expand. Very generic opening for Clem. Nothing too crazy. I like to hit nail-bitingly close while I'm literally biting my nail. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was very, very tight. Those situations, you always feel like I'm out trading the Protoss. I'm doing good, but then things get hard as time goes on. Nexus goes down. So the Nexus is about 20, 30 seconds delayed with this build. I guess 20 seconds from when a Cybercore before Nexus would have gone down. And this allows you, though, to have a lot more gas. He's going to go... Oh, it's just the Sentry expand. I don't know if I rate this build, guys. Do you guys rate this build? I don't know if I rate it. I'm kind of like, eh. I guess you get scouting up and your Twilight's not too delayed for Blink. Energy recharges immediately. I mean, if you're going to skip scouting, it's a good way of covering for that, right? Eh. I don't know. Part of me just feels like you could be greedier. Oh, it's the special build. It's the look, I went Sentry. I can't possibly have enough gas to go for a hallucination because the Sentry is 100 gas and a Stargate. But because he took double gas before Nexus, he can both Sentry Scout, see everything, and choose whether to commit to Phoenix or Oracles and how much to commit to it. Cool. Very cool play. I like it. I like the build. Build makes sense now. All right, Reaper's going to jump up. It's cool to see someone who's not max packs playing against Clem, because like ZOUN actually does so many different builds. It really feels like when I'm watching ZOUN, I'm watching a guy who's got so many builds lined up, different strategies he's trying. You know, it's so different to what's started to you know, the Clem max pack style of StarCraft is all about the execution, right? It's not as much like build choices matter, but there's a lot of times they sink into that rhythm of going, we've played each other 13 times this week. Let's go back to basics. Let's see who can do the basics better. But ZOUN, you can tell, is like different build every map, and it creates such a fascinating flow of gameplay. I really like it. I think ZOUN just playing an older style of Protoss, which I've missed for my own personal enjoyment. Interference Matrix coming out, as well as a Raven cancels the Interference Matrix. That's just the cheap upgrade he was going for there. Clem just looked around the edges of the map for some reason. We saw him just look here and then look here. And I'm wondering why. Did he just queue the Raven up? Ah, he queued the Raven down the right side of the map. He was thinking about going down the left and changed his mind. Yeah, this is what I love about this overview, is you can kind of see where the players are looking. You can see how quickly their screens are bouncing around. Clem just queued, he changed his mind, and he just queued the Raven around the left side now. So as you can see the way Clem, he thought about going left, changed his mind, went right, then the Raven popped out, and he repathed it again to the left. You can see, like, Clem is so ADHD, frantic, clicking, but he's also constantly changing his mind in real time on what he wants to do, and he's trying to make this look like a Banshee opening. He's going to cancel the Viking, cancel the upgrade, and swap it off. Very cool. Cool little details from Clem. Third base is up over here. Does Clem know about that? No, it looks like he was expecting the straight line third, so he wasn't there to block it. He has no idea what the actual build is, but he's going to assume it's not Phoenix, because why would you go Phoenix off a sentry opening? That's a crazy thing to do. Of course, he sees it now, and ZOUN says, hello. 7 shots to kill a Raven, guys. Or is it 8? I think it's 7. Nice. Worth taking a bit of damage on that Phoenix, just to shut it down. And Hellion's still over there. I fly through the middle. Protoss will see him. He can turn around and just pick that up. Remove the scouting. Third Nexus almost done here for ZOUN. Clem, 3 racks. He's got a good 4-gate blink wall off, but now he realizes, wait, I'm playing against Phoenix. Oh, golly. Oh, gee willikers. A couple of Adepts warping in, so it's Adept, Stalker, Sentry, Immortal. And now Charge. Whoa! So it's not a Phoenix Colossus style. It's Phoenix Immortal Charge? He'll probably add Colossus soon. But what a fascinating way of doing it. Oh, no! Clem with a mistake! Only leaving 6 Marines in the main base. 5 Phoenix make quick work of 5-6 Marines. Ah, gets an SCV, 6 Marines. Great trade for the Phoenix. And Clem, that's really bad. His Stim Shields +1, all about to finish. He's got more Marines. He could have had more in that main base. He was just underestimating the power of those Phoenix and their ability to fight those Marines head on. 5th and 6th gateway coming in for ZOUN. His third base nicely saturated. And this is the point where he has to make a decision. And he's going to go 8-gate. Yeah, so he's going to go 8-gate Charge Immortal with the Phoenix. Wow, this is such a unique way of playing. I'm fascinated to see how this plays out. He's had a good start. Cleaned up the Raven. Got 6 Marines and an SCV. He knows about the 3rd command center. Oh, nice bait. Clem moves the medevac in, twerks in front of the Phoenix, and that silly Phoenix chased it over the Marines. Fourth Nexus goes down on the right side. It still is just 4 gas, 4 Nexus, Immortal Zealot play. ZOUN will no doubt start banking up money at some point, but notice his Forge is still not down. He plays very late Forge. So this is definitely a feature, not a bug, when it comes to ZOUN's style of PvT. Late Forge. Oh, moving a probe down that right side. Spots this. I think he was going to go build some pylons on the edges to see what was coming. Dangerous to be over here right now, because if those Zealots get on top with the Phoenix, he's going to hunt you down. Clem's going to push the middle at the same time. Observer's seen it. He's going to split a few Zealots and Phoenix to that side. If he A moves on top with the Zealots and the Phoenix pick up all the Marines, he could do really well. Oh, nice pickups. Already picking off 3, 4, 5 Marines. Beautiful engagement for ZOUN. At the same time, 3 Immortals and a pack of Zealot sentry on that left side. Gonna take out the Widow Mines. Oh, one of them does fire, but 2 Widow Mines go down for a Zealot. Great trade here. And he gets himself a medevac, double medevac drop cleanup on the left. Widow Mine does fire, but only on a single Phoenix. 5 Phoenix still alive. He's going in there. He's gonna potentially get another medevac. Gets an empty medevac. Phoenix can't damage, but ZOUN doing an amazing job with his Zealot. He's got 4 Immortals as well, man. 4 Immortals, which means Marauder's normally pretty good at tanking against those Zealots. Not if those Immortals landing hits, it ain't going to work at all. Phoenix flying in, picking up Marauders right now. Zealot Immortal on top. Dude, ZOUN! Large and in charge. 9 gate, 4 gas. Zealot Immortal Phoenix off of a double gas sentry opening. What a build order. That was awesome. All right, guys. CLEM's going for a double proxy racks on 14 supply. PP, he had to turn his VPN on. Okay, so it looks like they did a quick pause. He had to turn his VPN on and he was lagging here to the American server, I guess. So he changed his VPN to route a bit more efficiently. That's going to be a very aggressive... Oh, he's going Marauders, Clem! Guys, this build is basically banking on ZOUN not scouting. What the hell? This is the grand finals, by the way, guys. I don't know if I mentioned what this tournament was. This is the OlimoLeague finals, 237. What in the hell? This is crazy, dude. Oh, he's not scouting. ZOUN's doing a double gas no scout build again. Oh, no. If you go Stargate immediately on the high ground, you can always defend with an early sentry. If you open early sentry. Give up your natural, and you can be fine. Oh, one base Stargate is the best. Like, double gas is good. It's the way better option against this, but having a pylon on the low ground and not scouting are the two things that have me worried. Clem right now going to go double proxy Marauder. It is an incredibly all-in build order. It needs to do massive damage. You need to at least remove the natural of the Protoss. If you don't do that, you are dead. Oh, man. Okay, guys. Tech lab there, tech lab there. We've got Marauders building. Depot's going to go down there in the wall off as well. Okay, 3 workers on 1 gas, 2 on the other. Nexus goes down. Oh, golly. I think ZOUN's doing a sentry, but this time into Twilight. That's what I would guess. He makes it look like the same opening, but he does a different variation. Yeah, sentry first, but he's not going to play Stargate. He's going to play Twilight. Where's the third pylon? Third pylon should go down now on 100 minerals. There we go. Perfectly timed. Perfectly timed. First Marauder building up right now. Concussive has not started. He starts it only after 3 Marauders start. So it's going to be 1 SCV, 2 Marauders. Does he move in with 2, or does he wait for more? He's going to wait for more. Next Marauder starts up there. SCV starts to sneak in. Phoenix goes out. Phoenix is not going to see anything for a while. He misses the SCV coming in. Oh, okay. You got to abandon the low ground. Go Stargate on the high ground immediately, and you're fine. He's going Stargate. He's going Stargate. Okay, SCV comes in. ZOUN's like, wait, why are you here right now? And now he sees it. As long as he keeps energy recharging and force fielding, he could be good. But oh my god, he already used energy recharge, didn't he? He needs more pylons. He needs more pylons right now. Okay, he's going to build a pylon over there. Dude, and the barracks can lift and kill these buildings. That's actually the biggest problem. If Clem lifts his barracks to spot the high ground, he doesn't have to go up the ramp. And he can expand behind this. He's going factory, building SCVs. Oh, no. Cancel. You got to cancel that Nexus down. There's no way you're going to defend that. Just waiting for the last second. Cancels it. Beautiful play. Stalker Sentry should move over here so that they can spot earlier and then force field at the right time. But look at that. He's going to lift the barracks, float it over. Get rid of the gateway, and the Cybercore could be big. Second gateway coming in. Stargate's there. Normally, Oracle is the choice because it's very fast, can go across the map, start killing SCVs, but he doesn't have any energy to fill it with stuff. So Void Ray is actually a better choice. I think this is a good choice. Yeah. Because the Oracle's just going to run out of energy. He cancels it, starts the Void Ray. I do think that's the right choice. Unfortunately, he's going to lose Warp Gate. Is he? He's got to heal with the battery now. Heal with the battery now. Don't wait any time. Don't waste any time. Oh my god. Stalkers pull back. Stalkers pull back. He's got to heal it. Oh, slick force field, but he does lose a Stalker already. And okay, he gets rid of the next one. No battery overcharge though. No battery overcharge. Oh, he's trying to get some hits in here to punish these Marauders. Can he get one more? Oh, good pullback by Clem though. Good pullback. Okay, Void Ray's out, guys. He can just focus the barracks if he wants, but I think he's going to go forward and try to go across this map. But the Cyclone started. It will be out on time. Perfect follow-up there for Clem. So Clem finding some good damage, throwing ZOUN off his build. As long as ZOUN keeps probing, though, he can double expand once he finally does move out. And look at that. Void Ray is going to find 1 Marauder, gets a second. And he's going to try and get a third here as the Stalker Sentry comes out. Clem, no way. No way. He gets the probe. He gets the probe. Oh, you bag of D's. I love it. Hang on to D's nuts, says that Marauder, as it takes that probe down. Does delay the Nexus, but losing 4 Marauders is kind of massive. I think the argument here is he should have ran home with those units, kept them alive for later, because now he's got 1 Cyclone and no other fighting units. Now, don't get me wrong. If he mass repairs or he kites well with the Cyclone, the Void Ray can't really do anything. But I do think the Void Ray maybe should have gone down to try and catch the barracks. 1 barracks floated home. 2nd and 3rd barracks are building. Void Ray coming in. You got to be careful with that Void, man. Get out, get out, get out. No, don't stand and fight. Oh, he's going to take damage. Oh, actually, it's a fake Phoenix. That's not a real Phoenix. He thought it was a real Phoenix. So what he thought the Phoenix was going to come in, pick up the Cyclone, and then the Void Ray was going to kill it. And that's often what you do with the counter pressure in this scenario. but ZOUN's doing the more conservative approach, double expand, and I think this is a better way of doing it in general. Oracle Stasis Trap comes down, trying to block some units, doesn't find too much, it's just an Oracle, a Void Ray, a Stalker, 2 Sentry, or 2 Stalkers and a Sentry. I do think clearing these tech labs would be nice to clear the vision, and Clem is going to send this barracks home, so 14 minutes into this game, guys, he's going to have an extra barracks land at home, and he'll be able to have a little bit more production. Music too loud. I'm pretty sure it's the same as always, isn't it? You guys let me know. Is it actually too loud? If it's making it hard to hear me, I think I might have had it a little bit louder when I was listening to some other tunes the other day, so it might still be about 10% louder than it normally is, maybe 15, but should still be in the range where I think it's, as long as you can't, you know, hear it obscuring anything, it should be fine. Engineering bay there, second and third barracks. Oracle still hanging out front. Okay, so 3-gate blinks here, Forge. Dude, what an exciting early game. In game 5, Clem banked everything on double Marauder, and he kind of finds damage, but not enough to actually get a kill. Loses a lot of units of his own. You can see he's actually lost more, but delaying this third base significantly. ZOUN's third is now up. Stim shields +1 all started. Starport getting towards a reactor. Okay, Blink's now done. If these Stalkers could find a Cyclone, that would be brilliant. Oh, Clem dancing there. A little dangerous, but he's trying to, of course, pull that army in. Apologies, misclick there, bringing up those bars on the top. All right, third command center starts up at 7 minutes. It's pretty early considering how delayed everything's been in this game. It's actually a well-timed third. Marines hanging out as well. So the third command center in the main. And what is the follow-up? Charge, +1, Stalker Sentry. You've got a Void Ray to stop drops on the bottom. You've got an Oracle for Revelation and Stasis Trap spam, which you can just keep refilling with energy. And honestly, if he spams these everywhere, if he just keeps energy recharging the Oracle and spamming Stasis Traps all over the map, it can really set him up for success. He's going Immortal Charge once again. And he's on 1, 2, 3 gases. So I think he's just going to play a very heavy Zealot Immortal style again. Interesting. ZOUN seems to have faith in this style. Stasis Trap is there, but the Stalker's not on top of it. Oh, but he doesn't see it, Clem. And the Stalkers take out a Medivac. Nicely done. Takes a bit of damage. Gonna get himself a Cyclone, though. Oh, well worth, I think. I think it's worth losing a Stalker. He doesn't even lose a Stalker. Dude, ZOUN's all over Clem right now. I mean, the supply does still look scary, though. But you've got 8 gateways coming up. Charges finishing. +1's almost there. I'd love to see a chrono on that. +1. Oh, he chronos charge. It was already done, mate. He wants to ambush him before the tank gets sieged. He's going to try and jump with this. The Stalkers go forward, but he hesitates. Pulls back for a moment, and the save on the tank for Clem. The stim to get out of danger. Pretty good move for Clem. He's going to try and pull back to that high ground, but I like the way ZOUN just bought space for himself. He's going to drop a 4th base. Only 51 probes, though. Dude, he hasn't even saturated his 3rd. Oh, because his main's half mined out. That's why. Oh, so he actually should have taken this 4th a long time ago, I think, if he wanted to have an economic advantage. But he was really trying to jump on top of that force. Clem sees it, the move out, and I think he realizes ZOUN has been doing a lot of timing attacks in this series. Let's play careful. Let's play safe. Let's knuckle down and go towards the later stages. Over time, I will be more efficient despite this bad early game. 800 resources down, 900 almost. Actually, no, exactly 800 resources down is Clem. We'll watch if he can close that as the game progresses. Stasis Traps not really out on the map anymore. It looks like they've all been cleared up. I think as the observers come out, you really want to fill up this Oracle, this Oracle, and start using Stasis Traps rather than Revelation. The observer with some good vision there. Zealot's going to run in the 3rd. Stalker's in the mid. Picks off a Marine. We'll see a scan for Clem. No. Distracted by the Zealots. Thought he was going to scan, realizing those Stalkers could see across the grass. Okay, a couple of SCVs go down. Widowmine doesn't take any friendly fire there. Widowmines don't take friendly fire from other Widowmines, guys. Kind of funny little unique unit thing there. It's kind of weird, right? Like, how do you even program that into the game? This unit doesn't do damage to its own type? You're like, what? Can disruptors kill their own disruptors? They can, right? Marine Marauder, Widowmine hanging out at the third. ZOUN's well set up, but he needs more economy. He's only on 61 workers. Void Ray not finding any utility in this game. It's just on patrol. I'd like to see him move that out to a corner, perhaps. Disruptors can't kill other disruptors as well. Do Widowmines do friendly fire to both air and ground? Yeah. Zealots rotating in here. Stalkers coming in for the flank. They take out a Viking. There's only one Colossus out right now. His army, mostly Zealots. Zealot counterattack hits the natural as well. Clem up massively in army supply. ZOUN's been a bit too far behind on economy for too long. Clem playing very defensive in this game, and I think it was absolutely the right way to play. ZOUN realizes he just can't fight on a single angle with Mass Zealot. He needs +2, he needs more Colossus, and he's going to get 10 SCV kills on the counter. Yes, he loses his 4th, but it's better than straight up losing the game. He's going to build a new Nexus on the other side. Multiple Widow Mines getting focused down by the Stalker Micro. ZOUN gets 3 Widow Mines before the fight even starts, and Extended Thermal Lance mere seconds away. One more chrono going down, and that it's about 10 seconds away. In actual time, about 5 seconds now. Stalkers come forward, get another few Widow Mines. Beautiful play here for ZOUN. Now, ZOUN's got a new base on the left. He's got to transfer these workers ahead of time, take himself a 5th, and he should be in good stead. He's got 3-1 upgrades coming out. Losing the base sucked, but Clem's only just started his 4th command center as well. And right now, yes, Clem's starting 2-2. You're starting 3-1. That's acceptable. Yes, your Zealots are fragile, but the Colossus are going to be powerful. It's all about the Stalker against Viking interaction over the next few minutes. If you can get a few Viking pickoffs as ZOUN, keep that count low, your 3 Colossus are going to be excellent. The double Robos coming in now as well. Problem, 64 probes against 63 SCVs does favor Terran. On the other hand, main base almost completely mined out. The Mule's still dropping on the 3rd, getting good value. Ooh, this game's tense, man. 5th base taken on this front one. He's going to try and dominate the north of the map is ZOUN. He's got good map vision. Observers there. How many observers he got in total? Just the 1. Oracle still revelating, trying to keep track of everything. And the Marine goes up north, finds this expansion. He's going to try and kill a probe. Colossus says no. At least Clem knows where his opponent's expanded to. Void Ray's still on a patrol path, waiting for Clem to try to drop. But he realizes that Void Ray is still out from the early game. He's not going to risk it. Not with the Oracles and the Observers spotting where he is at all times. Clem is trying to take as few risks as possible. Now that gives him less chances to suddenly win the game. But it does mean ZOUN's the one who has to find value. ZOUN is still ahead 500 resources in the units lost. So he's been trading pretty well this game as he blinks forward. Takes out a bunch of Vikings. Clem not watching. A medevac and 2 Vikings went down, I believe. Really well played by ZOUN. How many Vikings have died in total? 3? No Colossus going down. That's huge. I actually think this might be the sort of game where you could go 5 Colossus. As ZOUN, it's a dangerous commitment because if you lose the Stalker versus Viking war, the Colossus get wrecked. But it can pay off big time just having so many Colossus that you can overwhelm. Rotating around, Observer does get shot down. He's going to rotate into the 3rd base now. 3 Widow Mines landing. Big hits on the Stalkers at it though. Bit painful for ZOUN as he adds Storm. Guys, he's just started Psy Storm. Oh, ZOUN realizes what happened on El Dorado at the start of this series. He doesn't want to repeat of that, just running into a wall with Disruptors. He's going to add Psy Storm. And I do think ZOUN was one of the first players who really became an expert at the late game PvZ in 2021. If he can take that experience with kind of, you know, late game High Templar usage, scatter these around the map, kind of make the adjustments needed to make it work in this matchup, could be really effective. Right now, this is hero level High Templar usage. AKA not good. Hero's a god of High Templar in the early mid game, not good late game. You have to spread these bad boys out, take them all off the same control group. You only want 1 or 2 on your control group in your army, and the other ones you want scattered around these edges to come in from the flanks. Otherwise, Clem's always going to see them coming. The Terran attention is usually in one direction, clearing in front. But if you can start coming in from those flanks, sort of delayed after the fight starts, that's where you land big storms. Suicide Squad in the south side, diving on that 3rd. That's going to be a big distraction. Let's see how ZOUN handles it. He's got a High Templar running forward. Does get EMP'd before the storm can land. Bio, Suicide Squad dives into base. Doesn't quite go for the probes. He's just kind of clicked the Nexus. ZOUN's giving up too much ground to pull back to it, though. The Stalkers went to deal with it, which means the Colossus are in the open. Oh, the Suicide Squad pays off. One of the Colossus goes down. The Stalkers not landing the hits on those Vikings they need. And this allows Clem to take position. Beautiful sacrifice there. A maxed out Protoss always struggles in that scenario because suddenly they go to warp in, they realize they can't, they have to split their army, and in that moment Clem took position. But Viking High Templar, I can't believe they're so clumped, and I also can't believe he didn't storm there, but I guess energy recharge not quite ready just yet. He needs it, and now he's got the Psy Storm. High Templar still a bit too one-directional. Got to be critical here because we do see this all the time. Players keeping those High Templar clumped, and that makes it a much simpler problem for Clem to solve. Decent zoning storm, but of course, he's very aware of the next High Templar. Clem will be ready. Stalkers go for the Ghost, not quite able to snipe. Only 2 Colossus left, double Immortal production, so it's going to be a lot of Immortals coming in, plus 2 armor on the way for ZOUN. Zoning Storm into an Arc on Morph. Another High Templar on the left gets double EMP'd, no more Storm in the bank right now. Colossus disappears. Zealot Stalker diving on top though. Dude, the Vikings are kind of dead weight now that the Colossus are gone. Clem's got to be careful about how he takes these fights. That's 38 Zealots. Then again, when 3-3 kicks in, that could be good. Plus 2 armor's almost done. ZOUN looking for a fight. He wants to try and find ways to trade these Zealots. Going to 5 bases, which spreads Clem out a little bit. He gets distracted up north by those Zealots. Stalkers come down. Widowmine Planetary smashing the Stalkers. The Immortals very good for killing Planetaries. Is that going to be enough, though? Clem chases him. The Zealot Stalker, Immortal Zealot trying to turn now and fight the army. The SCVs are getting hammered. Now, you'd like to get out of here as ZOUN. You don't want to be fully committed, but I think he kind of is. The Immortal's not very good at retreating from these sorts of fights. He gets a Planetary, but he loses 16 SCVs. Is it going to be El Dorado all over again, where he dives on a Planetary and loses his entire army? ZOUN needs a remax. He needs flanking High Templar. This is where the High Templar are meant to come in to protect your flank, but he's only got 1 High Templar. It's up to the left. He loses almost all of his Immortals on the way home. High Templar comes forward, lands an okay storm, but not the storm that he needed. Zealots try to intercept the rally, but the rally is way too thick right now. This is a turgid Terran force coalescing through the middle of this map. Storm comes in from the flank, and that's what we need, but now we need one looping around the top or coming from this right flank. That up here and up here, these are the 2 angles Clem's not watching for. He's aware of the threat. He's also aware of how wounded his bio is. His medevacs, only 5 of them. His bio is so wounded. ZOUN, he's fighting with a way smaller army, but the Terran is weak right now. And he realized if there was ever a time to fight, this is probably it. Doesn't quite get the second lib, though. And the Disruptors are left hanging out in the open. The Zealots trying to pull back. Remember, ZOUN never had a massive bank this game. He's got 14 gateways, but he's already spent that bank. He didn't have the advantage, right? He never really was in that position. Even though he traded ahead a bit in the early game, he didn't turn it into an economic advantage. That first push that Clem basically pushed forward, ZOUN overcommitted to defending it off 51 probes. Remember, he paused on 51 probes, didn't have a 4th base building, and Clem recognized, you don't have a big economy, you're trying to ambush me. He just ran home, and that was, in my opinion, the biggest decision for Clem that put him in this spot. But where's the medevac healing? Dude, Clem's army's so damaged, his micro's good, but he's got to be building medevacs here. He's got to make more medevacs. He's got a starport, 2 starports on reactors. He's finally building 3 medevacs at a time. He's got to stop chasing Clem right now. The only thing that could get him killed here is his over-aggression. ZOUN's down 30 army supply. But if you keep chasing him with wounded units, and he stims again, his units are all getting one-shot. Oh my gosh, the charges are brutal. Dude, is ZOUN going to win this game while down 30 supply? What in the hell am I watching right now? This is crazy. Dude, very unpredictable right now. It's been very back and forth. Disruptor's going to throw a ball out. And the Stalker's blinking forward. The aggression of ZOUN. The mad dog strategy of ZOUN. He's got to throw the ball. He's got to throw the ball. He's got to throw the ball. But the bio gets it before the ball can connect. Dude, Clem survives this avalanche of Protoss. What a play. What a series. And I think ZOUN here just getting a bit too head buddy. He's only on 61 probes, so he feels like he needs to break Clem right now. He's just not investing in the long game. But you can see ZOUN's supply is way too low. He's on 3-2-1 upgrades, which is not bad. Plus 2 ship weapon libs are here. They're sieged all over these bases now. If he brings these libs from up top especially, he's going to have an easy time defending it. The Void Ray gets F2'd to the army. The Void Ray from the early game going to join in. What a fun final game this has been. ZOUN supply now looks irrecoverable, but he made it tense for Clem. And Clem, under pressure from ZOUN's attacks, I think realizing just how important that medevac healing can be. Disruptor down here. Getting killed by a single Marine would be very sad. Liberator Siege up. Bio Ghost is there. Zealots charge in from behind. A lot of probes do go down. Stalkers getting jumped on as they jump on the rally at the same time with their Zealot Stalker force. Void Ray is no doubt not going to last too long. Disruptor from the left gets dodged. Libs have unsieged. They're going to re-siege right now. The Bio Ghost trying to stand its ground. And too much bio on the dance floor. Just a few Protoss units trying to make magic happen. He gets a double shot on the Marauders with the Disruptor. Gets them both down to very low hit points. So there's just no material behind this. And Clem wins a very intense and fun 5-game series. I love the build orders for ZOUN. I love the range that he showed here. And it's just cool to see someone else playing a little bit. I think someone in the chat earlier said adjacent to the meta. And I think that's a good way of describing it. It's not like it's the craziest styles, but just cute little build orders that are all there to surprise your opponent. And he did survive the Proxy Marauder early game, was in a playable position. But like I said, I really think the key point in this game was about 8 minutes, maybe 7. Let's check. When was this? When did the push move out? Okay, I guess this game was a bit slowed down, wasn't it? It was maybe like 8.5, 9 minutes. So when this push came forward, you could see, if you look at the production tab, Notice how ZOUN's cut workers. If he kept, I think he could defend this. I don't think this push was actually very scary. Clem was almost fainting here, like a single medevac, a few Marauders and Marines. He's just faking him out. And because he saw so many units ready, he just runs away. Whereas if ZOUN had a 4th base building already, building a couple more probes to transfer from the main to rally over there, I do think he could have kind of maintained more of an economic advantage. But from this point on, it felt like ZOUN was stuck in perpetually being even or behind in economy and just trying to have a massive army and look for the perfect fight. And every time Clem poked forward, he'd be like, oh, you have a big army. And he'd just stutter step back and trade well enough that ZOUN wouldn't get that one big decisive engagement that he was looking for all game long. You can even see here, only building one probe at a time. He's really intermittent on his probing, not focusing hard enough on that economy when he had the advantage. GG, well played though. Clem wins 3-2.